You keep showing up while silently asking, when do I get a moment? And here's the truth. Here's the truth, my friend. You cannot keep running on empty and call it strength. A car does not become powerful because it ignores the gas light. A phone does not become dependable because it refuses to charge. And you do not become stronger by pretending you do not need rest. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is pause long enough to admit, I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed, I need a moment, I need to breathe. That does not make you weak. It does not. That makes you aware.
Trying to free my soul, one truth at a time, letting every story unfold.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Who Am I podcast, where once again I'm your host, Jeff Hopgood. But before we get started, allow me to check on you. I want to check on you personally, not your schedule, not your responsibilities, not your bills, not your inbox, not everybody who needs something from you. I want to check in with you. When was the last time you took a real breath? Not the kind of breath you take while rushing, not the kind of breath you take while holding everything together, not the kind of breath you take when you say, I'm fine, but inside you're tired, heavy, and stretched thin. I mean a real breath. The kind that reminds your body, I am still here. The kind that tells your mind, you do not have to solve everything in this moment. The kind that tells your soul, slow down. You are not a machine. You are human. Take one now. Take a breath. I'll take one with you. Try it one more time. Relax your shoulders. Today's episode is simple, but it is powerful, I believe. It's called No Time to Breathe. Because sometimes the reasons you feel like you're falling apart is not because you're weak. Sometimes it is because you have been moving so long without stopping that your soul is gasping for air. So allow me to say something that may hit home. You can be busy and still be broken. You can be productive and still be overwhelmed. You can be smiling and still be suffocating. You can be showing up for everybody else and still be disappearing from yourself. And that is why today we are not rushing into another motivational speech telling you to push harder, to grind longer, and keep going no matter what. No. Today, the reset is different. Today, the message is breathe before you break. Because if you do not learn how to pause, life has a way of forcing you to stop. And I know the title, No Time to Breathe, may sound strange because breathing is something we do automatically. But living requires intention. Resting requires courage. Slowing down requires discipline. Because we live in a world that praises exhaustion. People brag about being booked, busy, unavailable, overwhelmed, and running on fumes like it is a badge of honor. But let me tell you something. Being exhausted all the time does not mean you are successful. Being overwhelmed all the time does not mean you are important. Being constantly drained does not mean you are doing life right. Sometimes it means you have been ignoring the warning signs. Sometimes it means you have been giving pieces of yourself away without taking time to be restored. Sometimes it means you have been carrying too much, too long, with too little support. And today, this is your reminder. You are allowed to breathe. See, you have been holding your breath for far too long now. Some of you have been holding your breath emotionally. You are functioning, but you're not free. You are moving, but you are not at peace. You are present, but your mind is somewhere else. You wake up already thinking about what needs to be done. You go to sleep thinking about what did not get done. You answer messages while tired. You handle problems. You handle problems while hurting yourself. You keep showing up while silently asking, when do I get a moment? And here's the truth. Here's the truth, my friend. You cannot keep running on empty and call it strength. A car does not become powerful because it ignores the gas light. A phone does not become dependable because it refuses to charge. And you do not become stronger by pretending you do not need rest. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is pause long enough to admit, I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed, I need a moment, I need to breathe. That does not make you weak. It does not. That makes you aware. And awareness is the beginning of change. So breathing is not quitting. It's not. See, some people are afraid to slow down because they think slowing down means they are falling behind. But breathing is not quitting. I cannot stress that. Resting is not failing. Pausing is not weakness. A pause is not the end of the song. A pause gives the song rhythm. A comma is not the end of the sentence. It gives the sentence room to continue. Maybe this season is not calling you to stop forever. Maybe it is calling you to stop long enough to gather yourself. Because some decisions should not be made. It should not be made while you are exhausted. Some conversations should not happen while you are emotionally flooded. Some responses should not happen while you are emotionally flooded. Some responses should not be sent while your heart is racing. Some choices should not be made while your mind is in survival mode. Sometimes you do not need a new life. You need a deep breath. Sometimes you do not need to quit. You need to rest. Sometimes you do not need to run away. You need to step back, breathe, and ask yourself, what is really going on inside of me? Because when you never pause, you start reacting instead of responding. You start surviving instead of living. You start carrying everything like it is urgent, even when some things are not yours to carry. And see, this right here, I believe is very important because the world will keep pulling you. The world will keep pulling you. And here is something we all have to understand. The world will keep pulling you. People will keep needing, notifications will keep ringing, responsibilities will keep coming, problems will keep showing up. There will always be something else to do. There will always be another task, another call, another bill, another deadline, another situation, another person asking, can you help me real quick? And that is why you have to learn how to protect your breath. You have to learn how to protect your breath. Because if you wait for life to give you permission to rest, you may never rest. If you wait for everything to calm down before you breathe, you may be holding your breath for years. You have to decide, I am not going to lose myself trying to manage everything. I am not going to sacrifice my peace for everybody's expectations. I am not going to keep living in emergency mode because not everything is an emergency. Not every request deserves immediate access to your energy. Not every problem requires your panic. Not every delay means disaster. Sometimes you need to tell yourself, I can handle this, but I do not have to handle it while anxious. I can face this, but I do not have to face it while frantic. I can respond, but I do not have to react. That is true growth. That is maturity. That is emotional intelligence. That is emotional discipline. See, your body has been talking. Your body has been talking. And let us get honest for a moment, because your body has probably been talking to you the headaches, the tension, the tight chest, the restless nights, the racing thoughts, the irritability, the sudden tears, the constant fatigue, the feeling like even small things are too much. Sometimes your body whispers before it screams. And if you keep ignoring the whispers, eventually your body will force a shutdown. And see, that is not punishment. That is protection. That is your body saying, I cannot keep carrying this pace. Your mind is saying, I need space. Your heart is saying, I need attention. Your soul is saying, I need to be still. And today, instead of judging yourself for being tired, listen to what your tiredness is trying to tell you. Maybe you do not need to do more. Maybe you need to do less with more intention. Maybe you need to stop saying yes when your spirit is screaming no. Maybe you need to stop carrying responsibilities that do not belong to you. Maybe you need to stop proving your values through exhaustion. Maybe you just need to stop and breathe. See, you're not valuable because you are always available. You are valuable because you are you. You are valuable because you are you. Before the work, you are you. Before the titles, you are you. Before the roles, before the responsibilities, before the applause, before the performance, you are you, and you matter. And because you matter, your breath, the air in your lungs, the oxygen that you breathe matters too. So here's the reset breath. Let us take a reset right here. Take a breath. Wherever you are, take a moment. Relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw, loosen your hands. Let your body know it does not have to fight right now. Now breathe in slowly. Hold it. Breathe in slowly. Hold it. Let it go. Again. Breathe in peace. Hold it. Release pressure. One more time. Breathe in clarity. Hold it. Release what you cannot control. Now say this. I do not have to carry everything at once. Say it again. I do not have to carry everything at once. And tell yourself, I am allowed to pause. I am allowed to breathe. I am allowed to reset. I am allowed to be human. See, that right there is not just a breathing exercise, that is an act of resistance against the pressure trying to consume you. Because every time you pause, you remind pressure that it is not in charge. Every time you breathe, you remind anxiety that it does not own the room. Every time you slow down, you remind your soul that it still has a voice. And here is another truth. Do not confuse pressure with purpose. Just because something is demanding your attention does not mean it deserves your devotion. Just because something is loud does not mean it is important. Just because people expect it from you does not mean God assigned it to you. Some of us are exhausted because we are carrying assignments we were never assigned. We are exhausted because we are carrying assignments that were never ours to carry in the first place. We are trying to be everybody's answer, everybody's rescue, everybody's support, everybody's strength, everybody's emergency contact. But even Jesus withdrew to quiet places. Even the strongest need stillness. Even the called needs rest. Even the gifted needs recovery. You cannot pour from a place that is constantly being drained. And you cannot hear clearly when your life is filled with noise. Sometimes the breakthrough is not in doing more. Sometimes the breakthrough is in getting quiet enough to hear what you have been ignoring. Quiet enough to hear your own heart. Quiet enough to hear wisdom. Quiet enough to hear God. Quiet enough to realize I have been moving, but I have not been breathing. So today I want to challenge you to make room for your own life. Make room for your own life. Not just your responsibilities, not just your work, not just your family, not just your dreams, not just your ministry, not just your goals, but your life, your peace, your health, your joy, your mental space, your emotional well-being. Because what good is it to accomplish everything and lose yourself in the process? What good is it to be needed by everybody but unknown to yourself? What good is it to keep showing up while your soul is begging you to sit down? You need space to breathe. You need moments where you are not performing. You need moments where you are not fixing, where you are not proving. You need moments where you can just be. Even if it's just 10 minutes, 10 minutes in silence, 10 minutes in prayer, 10 minutes with your phone down, 10 minutes walking outside, 10 minutes sitting in the car before you go inside. 10 minutes to say, Lord, help me reset. Help me release what is not mine. Help me breathe again. Do not underestimate 10 minutes. 10 minutes can interrupt a spiral. 10 minutes can calm your nervous system. 10 minutes can stop you from saying something you will regret later. 10 minutes can stop you. It can stop you from being overwhelmed, exhausted. 10 minutes can help you remember who you are. 10 minutes can give your soul room to catch up with your body. So here is your assignment today. Here is your assignment today. Find one moment to breathe on purpose, not accidentally, not when you are forced to, but on purpose. Before you respond, take a breath. Before you overthink, breathe. Before you assume the worst, breathe. Before you say yes, take a breath. Before you give up, take a breath. Take a moment and breathe. Before you rush into the next thing, breathe and ask yourself, what do I need right now in this moment? What am I carrying that is too heavy? What can wait? What is actually mine to handle? What am I giving energy to that is draining my peace? And then make one small adjustment. Turn the phone off for 10 minutes, step outside, pray, journal, stretch, drink water, sit in silence, cancel something that does not need to happen. Say no without giving a long explanation. Ask for help. Take the pressure off yourself. Not forever, just enough to breathe. Because sometimes healing begins with one honest pause. So listen to me and hear me clearly. You are not behind because you need a moment. You are not weak because you are tired. You are not failing because you need to breathe. You are human, and humans need rest. Humans need space. Humans need stillness. Humans need oxygen in the body and peace in the soul. So today, stop treating yourself like you're a machine. Stop acting like you have to keep going until you crash. Stop ignoring the signs. Stop calling burnout dedication. Stop calling burnout dedication. Stop calling exhaustion discipline. You can be committed and still be calm. You can be driven and still be healthy. You can be responsible and still have boundaries. You can care deeply. You really can, and still protect your peace. See, this is the No Time series, and today's reset is no time to breathe. No, you have to make time to breathe because your peace matters, your health matters, your mind matters, your soul matters, and you cannot become who you were created to be if you are constantly suffocating under what you were never meant to carry. So breathe, not because everything is fixed, but breathe because you are still here. Breathe because you are still becoming. Breathe because this moment is not the end of your story. Breathe because God is not finished with you. Breathe. Breathe because you do not have to carry the whole world today. You just have to take the next breath. So before we move forward, I want you to pause for just a moment. Take a breath. Wherever you are, whatever you're carrying, this next part is for you. Let's speak life over ourselves out loud if you can, because what we say in this moment has the power to shift how we walk into the rest of our day. So let's begin with our affirmation. I am not defined by my past or limited by my mistakes. I am growing, learning, and becoming who I was created to be. I have values beyond titles, roles, and expectations. I choose honesty over fear. and growth over comfort. I am allowed to change, heal, and evolve. I walk with purpose, clarity, and courage. I am becoming more aligned with my true self every day. And who I am is enough. So as we close today's episode, I want to thank you for taking this time for yourself. If something you heard inspired you, challenged you, or made you pause and reflect, please don't keep it to yourself. Share this episode with someone who may need it. Invite them into the conversation. See, this podcast grows when we grow together. I cannot do this without you. See, we grow together through shared stories, honest reflections, and real connections. Every listen, every share, every conversation helps create a community rooted in purpose, rooted in love, rooted in hope, rooted in faith, rooted in trust and truth. So until next time, keep reflecting, keep becoming, and remember, you matter. This is the Who Am I podcast, and let's walk this journey together.
Who am I? Yeah, I'm more than the pain, more than the pride. Who am I? Who am I? Walking in purpose, no mask, no disguise. This is my voice, my rise, my life. Welcome to Who Am I?